Welcome back, Internets! I hope everyone is having a wonderful winter holiday season, and if not, I hope you found a safe place to get away from the winter holiday season. So, as I'm sure you've seen here on the channel, my theater company, Catalyst Repertory, is producing Martin McDonagh's chilling masterwork, The Pillowman. I'm sure you might have gathered, be it from our teaser trailer, some of our Meet the Cast videos, our promotional images, or even if you know the play yourself, it is a very famous play after all, that The Pillowman is a play that deals with some very difficult and adult subject matter in an unflinching and brutal way. What I want to do with this video is sort of a meet the director or a meet the production team of the Pillowman type video wherein I walk you through why it is that Catalyst chose a play like The Pillowman. Even though The Pillowman is a really famous play, outside of theater circles, when you say you're directing a play, the first question is usually, what's the play about? So that's where you summarize. And I started noticing that with The Pillowman, I got a second question from now horrified askers of, why? When you are producing a play about abuse, the murder of children, mental disabilities, police brutality, separating art from the artist, nature versus nurture, and more, and have to give that typical opening basic plot rundown to someone either unfamiliar with the Catalyst Repertory brutal theater brand or McDonagh as a playwright, you end up coming off like you're about to direct a snuff film and your aunt doesn't really jump into action to get her early bird tickets. What I've come to love about Catalyst is that Catalyst is fearless. We've established a brand as a group of theater artists who truly pull no punches. That allowed The Pillowman to be an easy selection for the brand. We've already done everything from nudity and horsemanship to dense, nearly incomprehensible rock and roll fantasies. As an artistic director, the plays I gravitate to are similar to the plays I like to write. McDonagh, Schaffer, Kushner, and Shepard were writers I learned about in theater school and the writers I attempted to learn from and emulate. Love for these writers, who are masters of the profane and profound, became what shaped my writing.
Fucking waiting room. A room made for fucking waiting. Sick goddamn joke.
Fucking language, asshole.
Martin, if you have to open your mouth, please ask that it's only to insert my cock.
This admiration shaped my entire outlook as a crafter of shows, and as Catalyst found itself more and more established as a brand here locally, I found myself immersed within a trinity of partner theater practitioners who happened to embody the very brand I was trying to create. So, partially answering why Pillowman is easy. We want to. It fits our brand, it's a favorite play of many in the leading cast and those on the crew. I even remember begging the college's theater activities van driver to schedule a trip into Indy when the play was produced some years ago at the Phoenix Theater. I was one of the 8 brave signups that made the trip happen, and I sat in the front row in the cabaret space. From then on, The Pillowman had made it onto my bucket list and made that bucket list one production longer. Not to mention that Catalyst Repertory is actually a repertory. Founding a repertory troupe was always a goal of mine in starting a theater company, and that wasn't coming from an exclusionary place, but rather a place of wanting to really establish deeper and more fully trusting relationships with my theatrical partners. I thought the idea of a band of rude mechanicals almost a la Bottom in Midsummer Night's Dream would be the best way to tackle the kind of shows that I am drawn to. To direct shows with major moments of violence, intimacy, or both, there should be a relationship of real trust between the director and the actor, and from actor to actor. And to me, it made sense to establish my group one that would be focused on rather bold productions as a repertory. We will always bring in new people. There are some new faces working on this show, and each established member of our group started new in one of our shows. But Catalyst also has a team of long-standing leaders whom I think help to guide our productions in professional and fulfilling ways for our production teams and for our audience. Another repertory strength for me as a director of other people's works or the great classic works is that I find myself to be a fairly good casting director. I think one of my skills is that I can pair an actor to a script. Having two partner creative directors and also repertory members whom we've consistently worked with has allowed me to pick shows not only for the brand, but for those who represent it, and that has led us to some of our most realized productions. The Pillowman across the board was a play that fit our edgier brand and fit our acting company members. I am genuinely excited to watch our leading cast in these dynamic roles, and I'm thrilled with the strength and commitment already coming from our supporting cast. When I was looking for a bold post-pandemic splash for our brand to return with the 2022 season, The Pillowman was the clearest choice for me. Another factor that pulled me into the world of The Pillowman is that the story is incredibly dense, and it doesn't force the audience to pick a side. There are no fully innocent characters in this script.
I shall save my fellow man from those criminals. I won't even get a word of thanks. My little deaf boy didn't thank the old man, did he? He just played with his fucking airplane. That doesn't matter. I don't need thanks.
Fuck it, I'd have tortured the fuck out of them if I had them here. Just like I'm going to torture the fuck out of you now too. Because two wrongs do not make a right. Two wrongs do not make a right.
3 days later, a man out walking the woods stumbled over a small, freshly dug grave. But, as the man was quite blind, he carried on by, sadly not hearing a horrible scratching of bone upon wood a little way behind him, that ever so slowly faded away and was lost forever in the black, black gloom.
Likewise, there are no clear-cut villains either. To succeed in giving the production the layers it needs to be successful, you need to be able to hone moments of vulnerability and sympathy for each of the main cast. Stories that are layered and hold fast to the assumption of man's proficiency of the more gray areas are the stories that I really enjoy telling because I think they are the stories that tell the most truth. The Pillowman has been one of my favorite examples of this kind of story for now nearly 2 decades. A final element that made this play really easy for me to select for this company is the fact that Catalyst is a company that likes to put grandiose stories on a very intimate stage. And The Pillowman, being that it is set primarily in one room with the exception of where we go in the context of characters telling stories, is an easy play to provide that intimate setting and do a lot with a little. At the end of the day, Catalyst is a small company with big ideas, and that's a fact I don't mind. I think in forcing our hand to tell some of the largest stories in some of the smallest rooms or with some of the smallest budgets, we've learned to be more creative and dynamic storytellers. I wouldn't trade the aesthetic that we've established for the world, and I certainly wouldn't trade it before taking on The Pillowman. So I hope that sheds some light on why Catalyst picked a play as seemingly brutal as The Pillowman. And I hope it makes you curious to come out and see our 2022 season opener coming up in February. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I hope you had a great holiday season, a winter solstice season, and if you weren't, I hope you found a safe place to get away from it. And we hope to see you in February for The Pillowman. We are so excited to be coming back to doing full seasons again after this pandemic year where we weren't doing really anything. We're still in the thick of it, so be smart, get vaxxed, wear your mask when you are at productions, help us keep what we do going, and we'll see you in February for Martin McDonagh's The Pillowman. Catch you backstage, Internet.